It is rumor mill time here at Missin Curfew. Updog, you're a good Fort McMurray lad. The Oilers, tough loss again in the finals to Chucky and the boys. Cost me some money, cost a lot of the Albertans heartache. And Connor McDavid, you can see how much heartache it's cost him. And right now, he's still not signed. Everything coming out of Edmonton that I've seen so far coming out of his mouth is that he's not in a hurry for this. So I'm guess, do you think he's going to be signed before the season? Do you think he's going to go in the season unsigned? Or how could this play out? Because this could, if he goes in the season unsigned, it could get ugly. Like, are they ever going to trade him if they don't sign him? It's like, what are you going to do?
Well, it could get ugly, but it is probably not as ugly as their lineup going into the season. So, the noise that's around this situation right now, like, I think it'll quiet down. I think it quiets down because Connor will kind of put it to rest and say, guys, the focus isn't on this. He's very, he plays a pivotal role on keeping things kind of, off. He doesn't want it surrounding him. What 29 did last year, taking this 8-year deal before the season started, I mean, he took the noise off the table, as I said it earlier, but he basically him taking this deal was like, Connor, I want this to be set. I want to be here. I hope you want to be here too, but I'm going to do this deal early and the focus won't be on me this year. I think Connor's in a situation where he's going to make Edmonton prove that they can do something with their lineup or do something with their goaltending or see how the start of the season goes, because it's important to him to win. And I think, he's not just going to sit there and be average this year. So we'll see how the Oilers start, Obes. If they start well, you might hear something happen. I think other than that, it's going to be a little bit of a noisy season for the Oilers.
Swishy, what's your gut feeling on McJesus in 97 staying up there?
Yeah, I think he's slow playing it. I think he's going to mull over his options, not only with his agent, Judd Moldaver, but his family as well. Ultimately, Obes, I mean, gun to my chin, I have no idea what he's thinking, but I would say he lands somewhere between a 1 and a 3-year deal. And I lean towards something in the 1 to 2 year department, just to kind of almost like it's like another bridge deal to prove for the team to prove to him what they can piece together, what Stan Bowman ultimately can throw together for a lineup for McDavid. I think getting a goalie in there is vital. Adding some secondary scoring, different pieces that they need to address to ultimately hoist the mug. So I don't know. I think he's going to take his time. He's cool, calm, and collective. As many times as Ryan Rishaga is going to ask him when he's signing, he's cool with it. He's going to play ball. And ultimately, I think, we'll have a decision, I don't know, somewhere in November or December where maybe he signs an extension.
I could see him going 1 year at Drysdale's cash. Just
I can see
it. See if you can build
the
team.
But what does 1 year get him? I mean, he's going to get some cap relief here, Stan Bowman, in the next couple of years, but
next year he gets it, right?
Listen, ups. They, in my opinion, Ekholm's got 1 year left, and we'll see what happens to him.
Yeah.
Now, is Ekholm even a legit number one defenseman?
No. Oh, he's not.
Evan Bouchard, I don't care what anyone says, is not a number one defenseman. So you look at this team, you don't have a number one defenseman, you don't have a number one goalie. And right now, your second line is Paul Colson, Draisaitl, and Matthew Savoie.
Yep.
And your third line is Isaac Howard, unproven kid out of Tampa. They just traded for Nugent Hopkins and Trent Frederick. I love Freddie. But I'm just like, to me right now, and I've said this all along, boys, and this is nothing to stir the pot with Oilers fans. I love Oilers fans. There's no Missin Curfew with Oilers fans. And I wanted them to win so bad. But right now, if you're Connor McDavid, why even sign anything right now? Like, if you don't sign, put the pressure on the GM and the ownership to be like, prove to me. Okay? Let's see how we do this year. Let's see what you guys can do at the deadline. Prove to me that we're going to win here. Because right now, to me, the future of the Edmonton Oilers, I don't know how long they can win for.
Yeah, but that's a great point. But up until the deadline, if they don't move Connor and they fucking blow it in the first round, they don't get anything for him.
You're always gonna have a chance at the end to do a sign and trade like the Leafs did. But yeah, no, you're gonna risk not getting as much for Connor McDavid.
Holy fuck,
for sure.
You could load up for a team knowing that they're gonna get him.
Yeah, but listen, Connor, you're talking from the Oilers' perspective, management. Yeah. He's got them by the short and curlies right now, and when you're the best player on the planet. It worked out for you. You finally got to a point in your career where you had some leverage and you got a nice ticket to Florida. Switchy, you probably never got to that in the NHL, right? I barely got to that. I got a 3-year deal in Denver, just was a decent deal, but as players, we give everything we can to be in the situation to finally say, fuck you. You know what? Nah, I'm going to decide. This is for my family. I'm the greatest player. And for me, boys, I think it's Connor McDavid's going to win a Stanley Cup. And I think deep in his heart, he wants to win one for Edmonton so badly. But I also think he's at a point where where he signs or where he goes, he could change hockey forever. Like, especially in this country here. Like, if he comes down here and plays for the New York Rangers or Chicago Blackhawks or LA Kings or Vegas Golden Knights, whoever it may be, like, he could change hockey in this country forever. And I think ultimately he's got to think about that too. I don't know if that's fair to him or not, but as an ex-player and a fan, a guy that works in the business now, that's how good he is night in, night out. This guy he can, like Steph Curry for basketball kind of thing. He can change it forever, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be sad if Edmonton can't put a team around him because he truly wants to be there and wants to win there. So it's show me what you got now because there's a chance I'm gone.
Yeah.
But you tell anyone that in Edmonton or any of the fucking, Ryan Rashad, or you talk to Stauffer, like they would lose their goddamn minds thinking that we would say he'd only want 1-year deal or he would actually want to leave just for those exact reasons.
Yeah.
And those are great points because he can change hockey wherever he goes. I think he wants to change it in Edmonton, but you cannot just go year and not.
So what if you're the Chicago Blackhawks and you got $74 million in cap space next year, and you're Connor McDavid and Cale Makar, and you're like, hey, let's go to Chicago, me and you, and get her going because Cale Makar's up too this year.
Yeah.
And then you could bring another guy like Nashis even with you or somebody. I'd have to look at the UFA charts. But now you got McDavid, Makar, Spencer Knight's their goalie, and now you got a 1 and a 1A defenseman. I just don't. I look at their team ups and I'm like, I feel bad for Stan Bowman because I don't know what he can really do to him. Like they gave Bouchard $10.5 million. It was a fucking terrible signing to me, in my opinion. Like that's going to hamper them. Like he's not a number 1 defenseman to give $10.5 million to. Cap's going up, but I just don't know.
Look like a good deal in a couple of years, but yeah.
No, it's never going to look like a good deal. Never. I don't think. But maybe Carolina would have given him $10.5 million. I don't know. We're going back to fucking what we talked about before.
No, it's okay, yeah.
What can Stan Bowman do, I guess? Put our GM hats on here. Like, what could he do to get this team better? Like, what goalie could he get right now?
Carter Hart.
Bennington's
Carter Hart. He could get Carter Hart.
Yeah,
he should get Carter Hart.
Carter Hart.
He should.
Was Carter Hart good, though, before all this nonsense happened?
He was good until the last year when he knew he was kind of fucking dealing with all this shit and he went downhill. He was good the year before that. He was really good.
Yep. And he's still young.
Yeah.
That's what they're probably going to do then.
And he's cheap. He'd be cheap.
Yeah. 800
getting him at a going rate. But don't you think McDavid, you don't owe anything to anybody in this life. But if you see your buddy Leon Draisaitl take an 8-year deal, don't you think there's a sense of loyalty and to give back to that player that he committed for 8 years, Obes, where he would take at least a 1 or a 2-year deal, and if it really didn't work out, he'd say, all right, fuck off, or is he not even thinking like that?
I can't believe Draisaitl fucking signed an extension either. But I don't know. But Uppy made a great point that maybe Leon was like, I'll sign to take away the noise, right? Like, I'll get a deal done. Let's just focus on winning a cup here. I'm going to take an 8-year deal for whatever.
He should have just took 4. Then he really would have got Connor to stay for at least 2 or 3.
I mean, Leon could always say if Connor does leave, which I'm not saying, I don't think he will, but if he does, he can always say, I want out too. And they could trade him. He's not just because what he may have been thinking is, I'm going to get the max. Maybe his agent knew, like, hey, listen, you can get 8 years here. It's about to go to 6. If you want to get 8 here in Edmonton, let's get it for, what's he making, 13 or 14?
14.
14 and a half.
Let's get your 8 here. The new CBA is coming in. It's going to 6. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted the longevity, Leon. I don't know. Who knows how his body feels? I don't know. Maybe
for sure. Absolutely. No, that's a great point. And you're right. If it goes really to shit and 97 leaves and they're still stuck with just Bouchard as their best D-man and no goalie, he could go in and say, listen, just load up on draft picks and change the team, but I got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I hope Bouchard proves me wrong. I hope this year he really shoves up my what. I hope
Dan Bowman proves us all wrong and fixes this thing. Because Florida got better.
He's running out of time to fix it, though. We're still. If you would have told me that going into training camp they would have had Stuart Kinner and Picard in that, I would have said no chance. I would have said no chance.
This Isaac Howard, I'm interested too. Like they're counting on him to be a big player. You know what I mean? 20-goal guy at least, I would think, as a rookie. I think they have high hopes for this kid. That's another deciding factor, I think. If he comes in and he's in Bakersfield come November, look, that doesn't look great either. That's another slot they have to fill, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think they have high hopes for that kid.
I'm sorry, Oilers Nation. Bobby Stafford, hey, all the boys up there. I hope he resigns. It just, I don't know. To me, I like that he's taking his time, though, boys, because when you're, like I said, the best player on the planet, take your time. However, with the rumor mill continuing here, boys, Kaprizov still hasn't signed. Ike still hasn't re-signed. Do you think these guys are waiting to see what happens with McDavid? Like, McDavid's going to set the bar? Like, if you're Jack Eichel and you want, I'm assuming Ike wants $15 million a year, probably, right?
Yep.
So he has to wait and see what McDavid does he not? Because if McDavid signs for 18 or whatever, I'm just throwing out numbers here. Then he maybe asks for 17 or 16. Like, do they have to wait for the big fish before they can sign, or how does that work?
I think they're all big enough fish to set the new bar anyway. I think Leon Draisaitl is probably where, McKinnon was the year before, and that moving forward, but knowing where the cap's going, Obes, like a guy like Ike's can set the bar for everybody too. You're talking about a guy that's 1B.
Okay,
Connor's 1A, Ike's is 1B.
I agree. Let's look from a management perspective now. If you're the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild or whoever, are you waiting to see if McDavid signs before you? I love Jack Eichel, but are you waiting to see if McDavid signs before you give Ike's?
I think you offer Ike's like Marner money and see if he takes it. And then you got your two forward, you got your two centermen locked up for the next 8 years, and you're moving on.
I'm just saying, with the best player to arguably maybe ever play, still going to be an unrestricted free agent July 1. As an owner and a GM, are we not having to wait a bit to make sure that we got money just in case this guy does come available, especially if you're the Vegas Golden Knights? I love Ike's. I think Ike's is one of the best two-way centers in the league, but we're talking Connor McDavid here. Like, you think Kelly McCrimmon and the boys Swishy are like, well, hey, Ike's, we're going to get to you. Let's just wait and see what the big boy up north is doing before we get to your, 6 or 7, 15 bananas a year kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they're going to monitor that if you're Kelly McCrimmon and George McPhee, but I would say they're probably looking even more so at Minnesota, what Billy Guerin is going to offer Kirill Kaprizov. I think that's going to be a heavy number. Craig Leopold, the owner there in Minnesota, has publicly stated that this is going to be probably the biggest contract in NHL history. So if you're Vegas, you're probably looking at that first and be like, okay, what is Minnesota going to pay Kaprizov? Obviously, Ike's is a center. Kaprizov plays on the wing. But I still think that's when you're going to monitor and see what they pay him. Like, is Kaprizov going to get $16 million a year? I mean, Minnesota, they haven't had a game breaker since 2001 with Marian Gaborik, right? So I think that's a guy that, for their brand of hockey and to get to where they eventually want to go, where they haven't been ever past the second round, is something that they're going to really make a splash with. So I think if you're Vegas, you're sitting in the weeds and kind of monitoring what they're doing in Minnesota and what ultimately Billy Guerin's going to fork over for 97 with the Wild.
Well, it's not just Billy Guerin. This Craig Leopold's not scared to just pull out his wallet. I mean, he did it for Suter, Weber, and Parise. Like, gave them deals that just blew everything out of the water for no reason. Just fucking, Here you go.
First time I played against Suits in Minnesota, I'm like, hey, you got $100 bill hanging out of your pants there, boy. $100 million. I'm like, oh, like, wow.
I mean, yeah, he was my.
They're going to give him
too.
I think it's going to be north of 15. I think it's
to who? Kaprizov?
Yeah, like 15 and a hook.
So what's McDavid going to like? So what do you think's holding this up? Just him being like term, or like what's the number? Do you think they're arguing the number even? Do you think in his mind he wants? They're not even there.
I don't even think they're talking numbers. Fuck no. I don't even think they're talking. I think he's just like, I'm coming to camp and listen, guys. I know you want to. Like, I know you guys probably want to talk about this, but right now, like, I got to see what product we have on the ice.
Yeah.
I would hope. I don't know.
I would say, listen, if we're going to have a thin hockey club, I want $20 million, because we don't have a fucking, we don't have a second line winger. We got no RD and our thin. We got no goalie. I want $20 million. Not saying he's going to say that, but he's
it's a lot to prove, man. And fuck.
It's crazy. I mean, when's the last time we've been in this situation? Sid always resigned. Nate resigned. Who else? When's the last time?
Already had their cups.
Matthews resigned, right? Did Matthews?
No, he's just taking 3-year deals.
No, but did he ever get to UFA? Matthews, Swiss year? No. like, I don't even know if we've had a guy get to this point on on the last year of his deal. Training camp starts next week, and the best player in the planet doesn't have a contract, and he's UFA. Stan Bowman must not be sleeping right now at night, eh? He's fucking pissed at his wife. Leave me alone. Fuck, what's wrong? I can't assign McDavid.
He's calling his agent.
Let me ask you this. What's McDavid worth right now to trade him? Like right now to a team, you get him for one last year of his deal, and you got to like that's worth a lot. So if they don't sign him, maybe moving him before the season is like, what's up? Because he's worth a lot for a year left at his deal. I mean, fucking any team could make that happen.
You can't do that though.
Right, you can't trade him. I know, but that's just the predicament you're in. You can't trade him.
No,
You're just throwing it out there. No, I know. We're just spitballing here. We're not GMs, obviously. That's why we have a podcast. And I'm hard on playing in Edmonton sometimes, but I love the fans. They got a great arena. They're fun to watch. I just when you're like I said, the best player in the world, and you're, but let's say the Rangers. If you want to trade with the Rangers, you get like Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Brandon Snyder in a first.
If you're Toronto,
I don't know. I don't even know.
Like LA, like look at LA's team and
LA,
because I heard a rumor there was like you got Byfield, you got that young D-man stud, you throw in a first round pick.
So you would go Brent Clark, Quentin Byfield. We got to sweeten the pot a little more than that fella.
Philly low and slow to know, just to throw in solid up the middle.
You could throw Deneau in there.
Low and slow.
You could throw Deneau in there. And then some goalie prospect or something for him.
Yeah.
It's there's ups. There you go. Quentin Byfield, Philip Deneau, Brent Clark, and a goalie prospect. Fuck, we didn't even see that, by the way. That's just what we said, though. We all said this. That's the deal we just came up with.
Yeah.
That's the exact deal we just came up with.
AI overview.
And then if you're Leon Draisaitl, by the way, as much as you hate to see 97 leave town, you bring in fucking, what is that? That's 3 legit National Leaguers, a goalie prospect, and a first-round pick. I've often said this too, and people may think I'm stupid. Like, is there a world where Connor leaves and you could, I don't want to say build a better team, a different team around Leon Draisaitl? Like, do you need 2 fucking top 5 players in the world at the same position? Like, it's nice to have a top, like a McCarr and McKinnon. Do you need a Draisaitl and McDavid that are so good at the same position?
For the power play, I think you do. Because that power play was so fucking good.
I mean, Gino and Sid.
But they're not
Gino and Sid's a good comparison, but they had the Tang. Not Evan Bouchard. And they had Fleury.
And Kunitz.
And Chucky. By the way, do you see some of these clips that come up on social media of Chris Chucky Kunitz hitting people back in the day?
Yeah, he was fucking...
Everything he does today is a 5-game suspension. Every one of the sets. I'm like, buddy, you'd be suspended. You wouldn't play. He's like, I know. I don't know, Ups. It's just like, I can't imagine at this point Stan Bowman trading him right now. I just can't imagine him doing that.
But that's one way that you say, like, listen, we need to, like...
You could put some pressure back on him.
Yeah, we need to get this done, or
be like, listen,
or your value just, fuck, it's tough. It's tough. That's why we're not GMs.
No.
That and a few other reasons why.
Yeah, I get that. I just think McDavid would just be calling his bluff if Bowman put any sort of heat on him. Be like, yeah, all right, sounds good. Trade me then. Like he's not gonna dish him.
Philip Deneau,
low and slow.
Byfield, Brent Clark, first rounder and a goalie prospect.
What about trade him to Toronto? Maybe get Bill Nylander out of it.
Yeah.
Could you get Bill Nylander and some other supporting cast members for McDavid? For sure, right?
I don't know. I don't know what you could get for McDavid. Everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a crazy situation. Listen, Oilers fans, I hope it works out for you.
Give us a lot to talk about.
I hope you don't be beating us up over my comments here. I'm always picking on the Oilers fans, but I love you boys up there. We'll see what happens. Ikes, I hope you get your ticket too, fella.